So recently, there was this girl who was messing with my mind. I don't think she was doing it deliberately, but there was obviously an effect. I noticed that I couldn't really focus on my work. I couldn't really come up with video ideas, which is also why you haven't really seen many videos coming out from me recently. My upload schedule has been kind of messed up. And with that, my energy has been rather low as well. My social energy has been quite low. If you know me in person, I'm kind of like the guy that brings the laughter to the table. I'm the one who is, I'm like a kid. I'm laughing at my own jokes and stuff like that. So I usually bring energy to the table. But off the late, I couldn't really bring that energy. My confidence was still there, but I couldn't really bring up the energy anymore. It wasn't there anymore. I also noticed my appetite dropped quite significantly. I was probably about 20%, eating one meal a day, barely finishing it, and I'd still be quite full after that. I mean, that could really coincidentally be just me being sick. If you can listen to my voice, it's a bit nasally and my throat is a bit dry. That could be coincidentally that, or it could be related. I don't know. But off the late, bro, I've been gassed, bro. My energy has been gone. My mental state, my thoughts and emotions have been taken away from me, and it's not fun. It really isn't fun. And I'd assume, because 2 years ago I would have done this, most people would, in this current position, would isolate themselves from the rest of the world to kind of like take a step back, get some perspective. And saying from experience, bro, no, I learned that I should never do that ever again. Because I actually told this story before on my YouTube, but I'm going to tell it to you in a shorter form. I isolated myself for 6 whole months, since about September 2024 to about somewhere in February. And I've learned that when I isolated myself, so this is what happened, okay? I cleared my Instagram, I got rid of it completely. I cleared my Telegram as well. I was speaking to 3 different people other than my family at that time for 6 whole months. And at that point, what happened was every single bad habit came out again. I started to eat like shit. I started to wake up late. I started to go to sleep late. I couldn't really do my work anymore. I stopped meditating. I stopped exercising. My social skills plummeted. My confidence also dropped to absolute zero. I forgot how to speak to people, bro. It was difficult for me to leave the seat at a restaurant and go to the counter and ask for food and ask for a spoon. I couldn't do that anymore. At 18 years old, I couldn't do that anymore because I isolated myself. Social skills is a muscle. If you isolate yourself, it's just going to disappear like that. And along with all the bad habits that come out. I'm actually going to pull up, I'm not even Christian, I'm going to pull up a verse on the Bible. This is called Genesis 2:18. Genesis 2:18. I can't quote the exact phrase, but it says something along, Satan wants you to be isolated from the rest of the world. And if you are isolated from the rest of the world, it's easier for him to creep into your mind and pull you away, pull you astray. And coincidentally, that's also Law 18 of the 48 Laws of Power. Both are 18. Genesis 2:18 and Law 18 of the 48 Laws of Power. Do not be a fortress around yourself. Isolation is dangerous. So yeah, I've learned my lesson. You can't isolate yourself because you're going to end up in deeper shit. So what did I do instead? I tried the complete opposite. Here is completely isolating yourself. And here is opposite of isolating yourself. It's kind of like making your life so interesting that you can't have time to entertain the demon thoughts. And that worked for about 1.5 months. What happened was, I was meeting, in the past 2 months or so, since about March, I was meeting so many different people. I think about 100 people. I've shook 100 hands. I have listened, I've memorized 100 names, and I have listened to 100 different stories. I'd say the first 70 were fun. Up until like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, where it wasn't really fun anymore. My energy started to drop. And even though me, I'm like a super social guy. I'm an extrovert, okay? And I love speaking to people. But it has gotten to an absolute point where my energy dropped to zero. My energy when I'm with groups, I'm telling jokes, I'm laughing my own jokes. People are laughing with me, and that's the kind of energy I bring to the table. But to the point, I'm like, I can't even bring that up anymore. I want to bring it up, but I can't bring it up anymore. And I was confused. I was really confused. I want the energy back, but I can't seem to pull it back. It's like my thoughts has been taken away by this person. I hated it. So I couldn't really keep up being on this side of the spectrum of meeting many people and making my life as interesting as possible. I can't do that anymore. I couldn't hold it up. But obviously, if this is a spectrum, there's going to be like this golden part somewhere in the center, right? Where exactly is this golden part? In this video, I want to help you find what this 3 steps you can do to reach this golden part in the center that will help you to regain back your thoughts and your logical thinking and to stop entertaining these demon thoughts. So here's how you do it. Number 1, confide in your friends, your very close friends. When you are in this mental state, your brain isn't thinking properly anymore. Your thoughts, your emotions, your mental state belongs to the other person that's been taking it away from you, or belongs to that work that the stress has been taken it away from you. You're not thinking logically anymore. And if you're not thinking logically, why would you trust your brain? Why not put your trust into another brain that's actually working, that's actually logical? That's when the friends come in. So when I was in that state about a week ago, I told my friend, bro, this is the exact circumstance, the exact situation I'm in, the problems that I'm thinking about, my exact thoughts and emotions. I'm gonna make this decision. I need you to come up with it for me because I can't think straight right now. Boom. 2 hours later, he gave me a decision. I didn't argue back because I know that my brain will stop functioning. I told him, okay, I'll do that. I did it and it worked. Confide in your friends. Number 2, sunlight and workouts. You already know this, workouts, because when you work out, you get all the endorphins, you get all the testosterone, serotonin, dopamine, all this come out, you feel happy again. And second one is just slightly less obvious. I don't know why sunlight just makes you happier. Whenever I'm in that kind of state, I'd go for a cycle in the sun. And when I absorb all the sun's rays, I kind of feel energized again. Like my energy just returns back to me. I don't feel tired after a long cycle, like a 10-kilometer cycle. I don't feel tired after that. I feel physically a little bit exhausted, but my mental energy just comes back. And I can think again. So yeah, I go for about 40-minute cycle and I come back, I get about an hour plus of brain cells. So I thought, you know what, I'll do that. That's a good trade-off to make. And lastly, focus on a work task. You've probably heard this quote before. An idle mind is a devil's workshop. And when your mind is idle, that's when all the thoughts come in. That's when, Satan comes in to steal your thoughts. But when you're actively working on something, it's quite difficult to get distracted. These demon thoughts are a form of distraction. And the only way to distract yourself from the distractions is to actually do the stuff that you want to do the stuff that will give you genuine results. And one way that I can because the fire in US has disappeared when that happens. So one way you can reignite the timber, get the smoldering flames back on before it turn into a forest fire, the spark, is to listen to people that you genuinely look up to. Like for me, I look up to Robert Greene, I look up to Hamza, I look up to Andrew Tate, I look up to Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett. And when I listen to these people, I get this form of, they reawaken this fire in me. And when they do that, you want to focus on the work. You don't want the thoughts anymore. Because when you're in the state, you want to entertain the thoughts, am I right? But once you listen to these people talk, and you remind yourself of your purpose, you want to accomplish your purpose. You had this goal before in the past. You get this slap in the face, what have you been doing? And then you actually want to get the stuff done. And that is the 3 things that I do to kind of get your mental state back. My name is Niguang, and this channel is all about me documenting my experiences and my lessons I've learned along the way as a teenager living here in Singapore. And I want to leave you with this quote. Take my mind anywhere because I know exactly how to bring it back. Cheers, bro.